Welcome to the Changes Challenge. We have been challenged to create physical and chemical changes.
We are going to be making green eggs and ham.
Today, we're bringing a special guest, Sam I Am. He will identify the physical and chemical changes that we cause.
But I do not like green eggs and ham.
Let's get started. First, cut a slice of butter, then melt it in your pan.
Which are both a physical change.
Next, crack your eggs into the pan and whisk them.
Those are also physical changes.
Finally, cook the eggs until they are fluffy and brown. And green.
That's a chemical change.
Now, let's make ham. First, we slice it.
Slicing is a physical change.
Next, we put it in the pan and cook it until it's golden brown on each side.
That's a chemical change.
So, cutting, melting, breaking, and mixing are physical changes.
Cooking and browning are chemical changes.
Now I like green eggs and ham. The salesperson from Sam I Am.
It's gotta be here somewhere.
This is such hard work.
It says here on the map. X marks the spot.
Captain.
This is Daniel the Dangerous.
And this is Captain Cash. And we're on Buccaneer Bay looking for the secret treasure. Look, I found something.
It's the treasure we've been looking for.
And it's full of books.
Do you know where else people who aren't swashbuckling pirates like us can get books?
The Book Fair. Our book fair will be held from September 23rd to September 27th.
And it will be open from 7:45 to 9:30 in the morning and from 1:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon.
It will also be open during open house.
So we hope you sail to the book fair.
And you find your own treasure.
Oobleck is a green, sticky goo that falls from the sky in the Dr. Seuss book, Bartholomew and the Oobleck.
It is unique because it sometimes behaves like a solid and it sometimes acts like a liquid, depending on how much force you apply to it.
Normally, a liquid takes the shape of its container and flows apart to allow your hand to pass through, like this.
Oobleck flows too, and it takes the shape of its container if you move very slowly.
But Oobleck acts more like a solid when you apply force.
When you stop the force, it acts like a liquid again.
The scientific term for that is a non-Newtonian fluid.
It's super easy to make your own oobleck. You just need 2 ingredients.
First, start with 200 milliliters of cornstarch in a big bowl.
Slowly stir in 100 milliliters of water until it is evenly mixed.
Be sure to remember, if you apply too much force, it will solidify.
Now get ready to investigate this liquid that acts like a solid.
Good morning, Spurs. It's a great day for learning here at Southwest Elementary.
Hoy es un gran día para aprender en SWE. I'm Daniel.
I'm Cash. Today's date is Monday, March 3rd, 2025.
Hoy es lunes 3 de marzo de 2025. Wait, that means yesterday was Dr. Seuss's birthday.
Since his birthday was on Sunday and we couldn't celebrate together, let's dedicate today's show to celebrate Dr. Seuss.
I have a whole box of Dr. Seuss books. Let's see.
Whoa, what happened?
I think there's more to this Dr. Seuss day.
Let's hear what Natalie has to say.
One of the most famous Seuss books is Green Eggs and Ham.
It features a character named Sam I Am.
He's cooking up something a little strange.
So let's get to the kitchen and cook on the range. Range is another word for stove, but stove doesn't rhyme.
I liked that green food once I gave it a chance.
But usually, green looks better on plants.
If you like to grow things with water and sun,
The Spring Obsession has plants, food, and fun.
plants need water and sun to grow.
People grow best when they boost what they know.
In music, we study the lines in the spaces.
We made up mnemonics to name all those places.
Music is one way to learn and have fun.
Reading a book is another good one.
Up next, we have Irma the dog that can read.
When you read with Irma, it is great fun indeed.
Rhyming with Cat in the Hat is a breeze.
Seuss wrote a book about goo you can squeeze.
Next up, we're making that slimy green object.
We can't wait to show you this cool kitchen project. Reading is an adventure that will never end.
Especially when you make many new friends. Well, that was fun. Now let's get started with our school day.
Work hard, be productive, and remember to rope.
Acuérdense de alcanzar nuestro potencial cada día.
That means reach our potential every day.
Today, we have a breaking story on the collaboration between law enforcement and the Special Elementary Group. The popularity of drones has gone sky high. This is because of its possibilities for private, commercial, military, and law enforcement use.
The first people to use drones were the military. The first drone used for law enforcement was the Spectre drone, developed by a retired U.S. Air Force medic, Gene Robinson, in 2005.
Police drones can help address situations that officers normally face, like staffing shortages and rising violent crime rates. Drones can arrive on scene quickly, hover over a search location, and provide high-quality photographs, videos, and coordinate with searchers.
We flew higher into this fascinating topic by asking Captain Bontrager questions about this new drone program.
Can you introduce this new drone?
Sure. So this is our new drone for the FWC. It's made by a company called Teledyne FLIR.
What are the differences from the old drone and the new drone that you have?
The drones that we used, there was two things that we weren't very impressed with. One being that the connectivity couldn't fly very far with it, and the camera just wasn't as good as we thought it could be. So this new drone made by FLIR, the camera is really good on it, and also the connectivity is much better.
So I heard that this drone program really took off. What is it like leading it?
It's been a challenge. Most of our officers are spread out throughout the state, so I have to be in contact with folks that might be 4 or 5 hours away, and make sure that they're getting the training, the equipment that they need.
How did the thermal imaging mode on the drone's camera help you find out where people are?
So this drone has a really neat camera called a thermal camera, and it's not like a regular video camera where it just sees the pictures and images. What it does is it picks up a heat signature.
Is it really helpful when you're trying to find people under trees and over if someone's trying to hide from drones?
If someone's trying to hide, we try to fly around in different angles, because sometimes, and you'll see it on the exercise we did today where you guys hid under the trees, I was able to fly around in a different direction, and I was able to see where you guys were hiding under the trees. But I can still see the heat signature, just like if I was flying in the daytime.
Yeah, it really showed up on the screen. Just like Bill Gates said, drones overall would be more impactful than I think people will recognize in positive ways to help society.
The FWC drone program is a perfect example of this quote. Because it can keep people and officers safer, they are more efficient, and they can cover a large area of a scene faster than a normal law enforcement officer.
We look forward to seeing Captain Bontrager next year with the next phase of his drone program.
And continuing our partnership with the FWC and our Digital Academy.